Hey everyone, today I want to tell you a story, not just about laws and immigration policies, but about family, love, and belonging. Because buried in Singapore's strict immigration framework is a scheme that quietly gives people hope in the future over here. It's called the long-term visit pass. Let me paint a picture. Imagine Mei Ling, a Singapore citizen, who fell in love with an expat from the Philippines, Carlos. They got married, but love alone doesn't automatically give Carlos the right to live here. That's where the long-term visit pass steps in. The long-term visit pass is a special immigration pass granted by the Immigration and Checkpoints Authority. It allows foreigners who are family members of Singapore citizens or permanent residents to stay in Singapore for an extended duration, typically up to 2 years and renewable. Now, the rationale behind the long-term visit pass is simple. Singapore recognizes that families can be cross-border, whether it's foreign spouses, elderly parents, or children of citizens. Relationships don't stop at passport controls. But at the same time, Singapore is very cautious. The long-term visit pass is not a path to instant permanent residency or citizenship. It's a controlled gateway. The scheme was created to balance the integrity of immigration policies with compassionate flexibility for Singaporean families. Back to Mei Ling and Carlos. After they got married in Singapore, Carlos applied for the long-term visit pass. He submitted their marriage certificate, proof of their shared residence, and Mei Ling's income documents. The ICA approved it. Carlos can now stay in Singapore for 2 years, but they don't need to worry about him constantly flying back and forth. Eventually, he might even qualify for a long-term visit pass plus or even permanent residency. Then there's Priya, a Singapore permanent resident whose 5-year-old son was born in India. She wanted him to study in Singapore and be close to her. So she applied for a long-term visit pass for her son, attached his birth certificate and her PR documents, and ICA granted the pass. Her son now studies in a local preschool and lives with her. And finally, we have Mr. Tan, a Singapore citizen in his 50s, who is the sole caregiver of his 78-year-old mother, Madam Tan, a Malaysian. She was granted the long-term visit pass so that she could live in Singapore with her son and receive medical care here. Without the long-term visit pass, she would have to shuttle across the causeway every 30 or 60 days. Now, she can stay for 1 or 2 years at a time. Now, let's get to the practical part, how to apply for the long-term visit pass in Singapore. Here's a step-by-step guide. First, check eligibility. The long-term visit pass is available to foreign spouses of Singapore citizens or permanent residents, unmarried children under 21 years of age of a Singaporean or PR, aged parents of Singaporean citizens, and foreigners seeking to stay for family reasons. Next, prepare your documents. You'll typically need the sponsor's NRIC or PR card, the applicant's passport details, marriage or birth certificates, a recent passport photo, the sponsor's income documents like payslips, CPF, and employment letter, and any proof of relationship or shared residence. Next, submit the online application. Go to the ICA portal, choose Apply for Long-Term Visit Pass, complete the online forms, upload your documents, and pay the application fee. Processing can take weeks to a few months. ICA may request for more documents or even schedule an interview. If approved, you'll receive an in-principle approval. Finally, the applicant will have to attend an appointment at ICA to finalize the process, take fingerprints, and collect the long-term visit pass card. There's an issuance fee and the pass is usually valid for 1 or 2 years. If you're a foreign spouse, you might qualify for the long-term visit pass plus scheme, which comes with longer validity and better healthcare and employment benefits. Here are the key conditions and rules. You cannot work in Singapore unless you get a letter of consent from the Ministry of Manpower. This is common for foreign spouses with long-term visit pass or long-term visit pass plus. You must not overstay. Overstaying may lead to cancellation of the pass and a ban from re-entry. You must notify ICA of changes in your marital status, address, or sponsor circumstances. The Singapore citizen or PR sponsoring the pass is legally accountable for the long-term visit pass holder. There are also prohibitions. Working without consent can lead to prosecution. You cannot work in so-called objectionable occupations such as a dance hostess or a masseur. Submitting false documents or misrepresenting information may result in blacklisting, prosecution, or even deportation. The long-term visit pass is more than an immigration document. It's a lifeline for families. It helps couples stay together. It allows children to grow up with their parents, and it gives elderly parents a chance to be cared for in their twilight years. But let's not pretend it's always smooth sailing. Rejections happen. Paperwork can be overwhelming. Therefore, prepare your documents properly. Be honest, be clear, and above all, be patient. Singapore's immigration system tries to strike a balance. It protects our national interests, but also offers grace to those who truly belong here, not just in nationality, but in spirit. Thanks for joining me in this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.